salad or a chihuahua, tuna and sweet corn sandwiches.
Exactly what else did you learn at the Institute of Physiology? The inflammation of the synovial bursae of the knees is reversible in front of the fridge. A single stream of human voice quivers. I'm not a good home for you.
I hope your day is beautiful as a shrunk bag of crisps and the word shrunk.
The veins of ice in the congealing soap bubble as it spread in our mind's eye, a hoarfrost white Latin palm leaf. But what would reality respond to all this?
My genres are poetry and self-fun. Help everybody get up. Someone
in the studio plays the goal feast as if you could commentate on a game while playing in it. Could it be that literature has never been the medium of knowledge creation, but that of cloud castles? And if it was, science only used it to retell its own stories. After all, language is a place, is step out to weigh things with ideas.
Fuck it.
Nature and the idea of the natural is as naff as it gets, like feeding the horse potato salad or a chihuahua tuna and sweet corn sandwiches.
Exactly. I mean, what else did you learn at the Institute of Physiology? The inflammation of the synovial bursae of the knees is reversible. In front of the fridge, a single string of human voice quivers. I'm not a good home for you.
I hope your day is as beautiful as a shrunk bag of crisps and the word shrunk.
Or the veins of ice in the congealing soap bubble as it spread in our mind's eye, a hoarfrost white Latin palm leaf. But what would reality respond to all this?
My genres are poetry, and self-unhelp. Everybody get up.
Someone in the studio plays the goal feast, as if you could commentate on a game while playing in it. Could it be that literature has never been the medium of knowledge creation, but that of cloud castles? And if it was, science only used it to retell its own stories? After all, language is a place I step out to wed things with ideas.
You know, everywhere everything is advertised as free from palm oil, as if that's a good thing. I'm like, at least tell me whose palms first and let me make my own decision. I changed the tire on my car this week, which is a first. It was a deep slash.
I know it's expensive. Reduced sales tax and fixed market prices are being figured on fair and square. Dina's eyelashes are like centipedes. You only have to pay for the drive shaft, but that'll be heavy. Chestnut back feathers, darker spots on the wings, the head and the tail turning ash gray, the staple currency of the grazing in return for the staring and the time invested.
What is a poetry banquetjestukken? Yogurt, strawberry jam, muesli, vitamin pills. I want a jacket that makes me look like I should have gills and scales and shimmers like nobody's business and cut into little keys like an electric Yamaha. Looks brand new and like it's about to fall apart.
Long live the great Shiite ideals of man, or let's go to the store to get some milk and munchies before the tribal jurisdiction falls into disuse. In the meantime, let's make do with instructions thrown backwards, to favor the obvious with my presence, however strongly the convicted may bridle. This is what I meant by submission. This sunshine would be unimaginable, and the glistening downpours of the afternoon, without the flaccid apology or the self-forgetting childlike play of the hands, if all I'm saying weren't the strongest intuition, and so far nobody objected.
If nobody objects, there's an album by Diana Ross made the year I was born called Eaten Alive, and in the unimaginable sunshine of this poem, us eating and being eaten alive feels good. Tiny bones through our tongues, enormous hunks of cheese for us to balance another enormous hunks of cheese. I love the phrase enormous hunks, can you tell? And this is what I mean by submission maybe, and curls of butter so radiator-like in off-cream light.
The flowered velour is half the battle. You're landing me in difficulty. We'd been living someone else's life for 2 years in eastern Ukraine, and I should say the costumes are still convincing. Here, marriages were officiated, lives were ruined. The Nobel Prize-winning physicist used string theory to explain how he could keep two parallel lovers. The factory is the world's largest movie set. You weren't the only one to think you could outsmart your character. Crystal glasses filled with champagne, cathode ray tube TV. I'm still convinced that I had written this letter. Deep inside, we're somehow bound together. When you're dreaming, I'm alive, but I've already said this.
Fuck it.